Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live. Now, on the romance of being, Desire, Marea's second solo album was released to Mute in April 2023. The album is infused with the communal, ceremonial and healing qualities of music following a recent call to train as a Sangoma, a traditional Nguni spiritual leader. Sonically, the album beautifully fuses together post-gospel, spiritual jazz and ancient Nguni and Ndau music. Desire joins us in studio to tell us more about the musical journey and as well as his concert that took place at the Market Theatre. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning.
How are
Thank you
you?
for having me. I'm very well.
Good, thank you. I mean, talk to us about your musical journey. When did it all start for you? When did you make the decision to take music seriously?
I made the decision to take music seriously around 2011. And that is just when music came. I can't explain that in worldly terms, but music just hit me and I knew that I had to learn how to create it.
Speak to us about the journey so far. How would you describe it?
The journey has been quite fulfilling. With all its challenges, it's been fulfilling and it's revealed a deeper capacity that I didn't know existed inside me.
Yeah. And talk to us about fusing these two worlds. Here you are, you know, musician and you're going into this career, and then here comes the calling too.
Yes.
How do you mix the two? How do those two combine and coexist?
It's weird because I feel like they've always been fused.
Right.
I feel like the calling fetched me from music, you know, and it all made sense later on, you know, in hindsight with a lot more information after Uktwasa, that actually the music I was making all along was quite spiritual, and this is why.
Yeah. How would you even describe that music? If you had to find words into how would you describe your sound and what that music is?
I feel like it's black experimental music. And a cross between black spiritual music. Yeah.
I want to talk about the second solo album, On the Romance of Being. Tell us a little bit about that. Such an interesting title.
Thank you. So On the Romance of Being, as a title, refers to the feeling that I had after Uktwasa. Mautwasa uvuma ugufa. You know, so you get stripped of your entire identity in order to become this new person.
Okay.
So it was after that, and I felt like a baby after undergoing that kind of death. And it's just about me coming back into the world and finding joy and a sense of wonder with the world again, like a child.
Why romance, though?
Because music romanticizes that moment. It romanticizes my being. You know, it's like adding a flower to anything, you know, to a person, to a grave. You romanticize it, you give it a sense of reverence. So hence the title Romance.
What is it about fusing different themes and different genres that speaks to who you are?
It speaks to the multiplicity of being a South African and every kind of music that we grew up listening to. So I like to honor all of that. I don't think I'll want to choose one genre. I'd like for all of that because it's in my sonic DNA already. So I'd like to make sure that it comes across as truthfully as possible.
And many of the tracks on this album touch on your personal experience, previous experiences and emotions. Tell us a little bit about that and how it was pouring your emotions into this project.
It's, you know, it was a lot of experiences, but I think I wrote it at a time when I was coming into myself and learning more about myself and just reckoning with things that I had been avoiding a lot emotionally. And also just coming to terms with the fact that I have a higher calling, maybe. So I think just the frustrations and the anxieties of that experience as well are part of the album's thematic concept.
And how much of the creative process and what we are seeing in this body of work, you know, reflects on the new person that you are? Because like you said, you're a new person and you've evolved as this person. When you look at the work now and say, okay, but this is a different person than to the one that previous album.
I think, you know, the thing that really shows you that I've changed as a person is how maybe I treat the music now. I've got a new respect for the essence of music and making sure that music above anything carries the soul. You know, it's very easy to make a hit, you know, to come up with something catchy. But I think for music to carry the soul is quite a challenge, and I'm quite occupied with that.
And how difficult was it to be vulnerable in those difficult spaces where you have to put your soul out there?
It's very difficult. It feels like a very new place. It's like you're in the dark,
Yeah.
and the darkness keeps pulling you, but something keeps telling you that even in that darkness, you are the light. So go in, and you'll come out with something.
What did it teach you about yourself?
It taught me that my energy transcends anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I shouldn't fear anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And then talk to us about the creative process. Take us through that creative process from the making of the music to getting the album out there, you know, to the cover, to this, for instance. I mean, this is... I want to talk about this entire aesthetic, but okay. It's giving me Lenny Kravitz, but a different vibe. You know, talk to us about that entire process, the creative process that landed us here.
You know, the creative process has always been to me about telling the story. So in the music, I think, you know, I work with incredible musicians. We recorded it as a band.
Yeah.
And I think I always made sure that everyone understood what the story is in the music.
Yeah.
So that they could devote themselves to that. And I think that translates also visually. You know, I think the brief to the photographers and the stylists was very direct.
Yeah.
You know, I had a story and a narrative and something that I wanted to share. So I think in the common thread in all of that is remaining true to a story and telling a story as beautifully as you can.
Would you say, I beg your pardon, that's the route that you're going, where people have described your music as radical and thought-provoking?
I will accept that.
Yeah.
I will accept that. You know, I think for me, I would just like my music to be real. Yeah.
What were some of the challenges you faced in creating this album?
I think just existing in the world as an artist, you know, it comes with a lot of challenges. I think, you know, existing in capitalism and, you know, post-COVID industry, it's quite a challenge, and it requires a lot of faith from the artist. Yeah.
I want to talk about this. Oh, they've changed quickly. But the one with the two guys, the two gentlemen, and you're almost sitting in the water, this one.
Yes.
I mean, talk to us about the thought process behind this. What is the message that you were trying to, you know, get to the world with this? Because it's such a powerful picture, given the background as well.
Thank you. So with this image, this entire shoot, actually, we did it in two parts.
Okay.
In the present world and the other world, where we are exploring different incarnations of myself.
Okay.
You know, just the idea.
Yeah.
So me and Tatenda, who shot it, we were just imagining who could I have been like 100 years ago or 200 years ago.
Yeah.
And so we created the imagery out of that. And I think, you know, I'm quite inspired by Renaissance paintings. A lot of this album was inspired by my visit to Uffizi in Florence. And I saw all the old paintings by Michelangelo and everyone. So I think a lot of that references a lot of those paintings.
And who is Desire today, the one that sits here? If we had to compare the Desire that would have existed in April 2022?
Desire is a lover. Desire is an artist. Desire is a healer.
And you had a show at the Market Theatre. Tell us a little bit about that. How did that go?
Oh, it went amazing.
Yeah.
It went amazing. It was such a beautiful night. The audience had such amazing energy. And it really felt like we invited everyone into the world of the music, and they were in the music with us, you know. I think that's the beautiful thing about playing live. The songs we rehearse, but the song is what we play and what the audience gives us.
Yes.
It's that moment.
All right, Desire, thank you so much for talking to us. Good luck going forward.
Thank you very much.
Desire Marea talking to us about this amazing body of work on the romance of being. Let's take a quick ad break. We're back after this. Stay with us.